There's no time for applesauce. None. But that's okay. I was going to have a little thing of applesauce, but there's really not any time for that. So we're just going to get right into it because I had to work and so I'm a little late, so I'm trying to hurry up really quick. But this is the story I was telling you about. When a monster... Sorry, it's all backwards. When a Monster is Born by Sean Taylor and Nick Sharratt. Cool. Let's do this. I always like different, what's this called, Mommy? I forget what it's called. You'll think of it before I do. When a Monster is Born. When a Monster is Born. Okay. When a monster is born. Cute little monster. There are two possibilities. Either it's a far away in the forest monster, or it's an under your bed monster. If it's a far away in the forest monster, that's that. But if it's an under your bed monster, there are two possibilities. Either he eats you, or you make friends. And take it to school. That'd be fun. If he eats you, that's that. But if you take it to school, there are two possibilities. Either it sits quietly, does its homework, and becomes the first monster to play for the school basketball team. Or it eats the principal! Ah! Dogs is working. If it sits quietly, that's that. But if it eats the principal, there are two possibilities. Either it growls, "Yummy," and dances the boogie woogie, or it growls, "Sorry," and walks off through the wall. If it dances the boogie woogie, that's that. But if it walks off, there are two possibilities. Either it sits in the park and scratches its head, or it takes a deep breath and sets off for the faraway forests. Let's be a faraway forest monster. If it sits in the park, that's that. But if it sets off for the faraway forest, there are two possibilities. Either it finds an expensive hotel on the way and decides to sleep in it, or it goes around back of the hotel, finds a broken umbrella, and decides to sleep under that. Sorry, interruption. All right, where were we? Yeah. So, if it sleeps, excuse me, I did take a bite of food. I was really hungry. If it sleeps in the expensive hotel, that's that. But if it sleeps under the umbrella, there are two possibilities. Like this. Either a kitchen girl comes out and tips a saucepan of porridge over the monster's head, or the kitchen girl notices the monster and stops in her tracks. If the kitchen girl tips porridge over the monster's head, that's that. But if the kitchen girl stops in her tracks, there are two possibilities. Either the monster gives her the fright of her life, and she runs off shouting, "Help, help, help!" Or the monster gives her a rose. And they fall in love. Aww. If the girl runs off shouting, help, 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 that's that. But if they fall in love, there are two possibilities. Either she kisses the monster and it turns into a handsome young man. Or it kisses her and she turns into a monster. If the monster turns into a handsome young man, that's that. Boring. But if the girl turns into a monster, there are two possibilities. Either the monster says, ugh, you look horrible now. Or the monster says, look, I'm a monster, you're a monster. Babe, let's get married. If the monster says, ugh, that's that. But if the monster says, let's get married, there are two possibilities. Either the two of them live happily ever after and have a baby monster, or I'll let you read it. They eat each other. If they eat each other, that's that. But if they have a baby, oops, sorry. If they eat each other, that's that. But if they have a baby monster, there are two possibilities. Either it's a far away in the forest monster, or it's an under your bed monster. And that's the under your bed monster. The end. Full circle, because, you know, could be one of the two. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed that, buddy. I'm going to get this on real quick. I thought it was funny. It reminded me of, what are those books? Give a mouse a cookie. It's like, if you do this, do that. Or if you give a dog a bone or whatever it is. Slightly different, but kind of like that. Not really, but sort of like that. Kind of progresses. Anyways, I love you guys. I'm going to hurry up and get this on. Sweet dreams. And, yeah, I got more stories tomorrow. And this weekend, buddy, tell mommy or tell me whatever. If you get a request, I'm going to make like a really long or, you know, longer video, not just stories. I want to make like a kind of a cool video for you. So, think of anything, let us know. All right? I love you guys. Mwah, 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 mwah. Sorry, last night's was really loud, so I did it kind of quiet. See, like, see, nice and gentle and soft.